Hello, we're live. You caught me getting a drink. How are you on Happy Hump Day Wednesday? Are we here? I always like to see when somebody comments or I see numbers pop up so I am aware that we're actually live at where we need to be live. Are we there? Okay, I'm going to give it half a second. I'm going to check my phone because I like to do that. Make sure it's actually live where it's supposed to be. We have a Facebook user who says, yeah, we're live. Awesome. We getting a drink. See, like, there it is. There it is. Okay, we're live. That's always scary. Okay, so welcome to the Superstar Manager Masterclass Session 3. For you Facebook users who are so kind to tell me you're here, I appreciate that very much. If you will click the link at the top of the broadcast, it should say, to have your name show up in StreamYard. Click there. Otherwise, I know you as Facebook user, which is fine with me. However you want to be known. And yes, I'm so glad you actually made it to a live session too, whomever you are, Facebook user. I'm glad you're here. And Allison, thanks for that. Let me see if I can click the button to show it. There we go. Look at that. I'm getting to know this technology more and more every day. I just surprise myself so much. So here we are. Happy Wednesday. I was asked yesterday, who are you? Why are you doing this? Do people even know who you are, what you do, who you serve? And I said, well, I will start out with that on Wednesday. So you know my name, Jennifer Takagi. Everybody who registered for the masterclass, I sent you either a voicemail or a text message. If you got a voicemail, or if you didn't get a voicemail, you got a text message. That's because I couldn't figure out who you were on the Facebook on my phone because those pictures are so tiny. So if you didn't get a message, or if you did get a message and you have a question, either way, let us know. Put it in the chat. Let us know if you have questions, if you have issues, if you need help with anything. We're happy to help you. And so a little bit of my background. I always loved teaching. I always loved training. I never really wanted to be a public school teacher. I did go back to school after I got my bachelor's, and I lacked, maybe it was one class, observation, and then student teaching to have my teaching certificate. But I decided that really was not the path for me, so I quit. And it really wasn't I quit. I just decided not to proceed. Right? Because sometimes we quit and sometimes we just make a pivot, we make a change. And I decided that really was not the route for me. However, I was fortunate enough throughout my career to have many opportunities to train people on all different kinds of things. I actually ended up being our office's trainer for all things Microsoft Office. I trained everybody on all the levels of Word, Excel, Access, what else? Excel, PowerPoint, just because I liked it and I was good at it. You could give me a book, I could figure it out. Fast forward, one day I'm asked to go attend this thing. I didn't know what it was, but it was Washington, D.C., and I always said yes because I love going to Washington, D.C. So there is a ballroom with let's say 80 people, maybe 100, but 80 to 100 people. And I'm one of the people that's going to review applications. And all the people in this room have been approved to be in this program. And then they have an application for what their project's going to be. And so for whatever reason, luck of the draw, I got selected to be one of the people to review their applications for their projects. So when I got there, I really didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was or what I was going to do. So I am sitting there watching, and we have a lunch break. We come back from lunch, and this little woman, so incredibly professional, walks out there. She has a microphone. Here, I'll use this lipstick as a microphone. She walks out. She's like 5'0" 4" spiked heels on. a custom suit. I imagine it's like one of those $2,000 suits that you have custom made. I mean, like, I've seen that on TV. I don't even know that I'd seen it in person till then. And her hair is perfect. Her makeup is perfect. She looks amazing. And she walks out there and says, "Hello, my name is Karen. And this afternoon." And I thought, oh my gosh, I could do better than her. So fast forward 9 months later, we're at the end of the program and we're having like 2 sessions of closeout or 2 days of closeout, and then the final awards ceremony where everybody gets their certificate. And in one of the breaks, I actually find the guy who is in charge of it all. And like, I had seen him, but I had never had an opportunity to meet him. So I go up to him and I introduce myself and I said, "Hey, how do I get to do what you do?" And he goes, "Oh, well," I said, "Do I have to have a PhD because the woman, who did that 9 months ago has a PhD? I don't want a PhD. I don't want to go back to school." He goes, "Oh no, you don't have to do that. Just, you can just research it and find coaching programs because we're all life coaches." Okay, awesome. So fast forward a little bit more. I don't have any idea when this happened because it's not dated. But after I left my career position to start my own business doing leadership development training, such as this, I had found a paper inside of a folder from a training I had attended. It was 8.5 by 11, turned sideways. And it said, short-term goals are 3 to 6 months. Long-term goals are 3 to 5 years. Okay, fine. I don't know where I was when I saw this or learned it or it was taught or we did this exercise. And I put 3 to 6 months. Research how to become a coach. 3 to 5 years. Retire early. Start my own business and become a coach and a trainer. So I don't know the exact date on this again because I didn't date it. It's shocking that I kept it because it's not with all my other notes, and I am an avid note taker. But it was probably 5 years, 6 max that I had retired early, started my own business, and I'm certified. I'm a certified coaching specialist, so I did that. And in the DISC behavioral profiles, change style indicator for change management, the Jack Canfield Train the Trainer for his success principles, and then 3 levels of law of attraction. Law of attraction 1, law of attraction wealth, and law of attraction wealth mastery. So I'm obviously a lifelong learner. I just didn't want a PhD. And my last big assignment before I retired was to go across the country training people. And part of it was training employees on how to do work differently. And part of it was training managers on the soft skills. I come from a background in housing, much of that being with the federal government. And I'll just say, they don't necessarily provide a lot of people training. Like, you go to management training, but it's like how to do the reports, how to follow the process to fire somebody, right? It's not like how to coach them up so you don't fire them. It's like, this is the process you have to take if you need to fire them. So when I had the opportunity to leave, I ran out that door. Like, my husband was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "No, I'm out of here." So I've been doing this for almost 7 years now. I think I added it up. It's been a while. I probably need to up the numbers, but I've probably trained or talked to over 10,000 managers over this time period. Some of it has been in person. Some of it has been completely virtual. I do trainings. I'm in Oklahoma, by the way. I'm in the great state of Oklahoma, in Oklahoma City, like in the middle of the state. And I'm a contractor for the state of Oklahoma. And so I've done some awesome trainings for them. They have fabulous material. And when we couldn't do live, we did like live in person. We did live, but it was just, I had a PowerPoint and a microphone and they had a platform. So they couldn't even see me. So I love this. I love it. And I love to share the stories that, like, events I've gone through. And the whole goal is so you don't have to do it, right? If I can show you a better way, that's my goal. That's my goal, to show a better way. Oh, so we had a similar journey. Okay, is it Taryn? Is that how you pronounce it? Just say yes or no, Taryn. With who am I certified? Who am I not? I don't know. Which certification? Ask more questions. I'll share more. But it's all been fun and it's all been exciting. And technology sometimes is not like my best friend. I embrace it and love it, but sometimes it's kind of sassafrasy with me. Yesterday, my internet was down at home, and yeah, I've heard that Mercury was in retrograde. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but somebody commented and said, "Oh, Jennifer, this is all going to be fine and good for you. But no, if any planet is in retrograde, you need to look inward, not outward." And I said, so the next time I do this, I need to look at the calendar, make sure that, nobody is in retrograde. Everybody's in outrograde. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a thing. So let's get going on today's information. So we started out Monday with the art of influence, to influence people, create employee engagement so you can get them to do what you need them to do, right? Get them on board. Yesterday was the science of scorecards. There are goals for your organization, and you and your people need to know how your important work fits in with the overall organizational goals. Like, how does that fit in? How does it all go together? Bring it all together, put it together, and know how you're going to delegate. And we had our little whale picture. Remember that? We had our whale picture where if you spend just a tiny bit of time training, then they have a long span of frustration, and then you do it yourself. What you need to do is spend a lot of time training them, give them time to get on board, and then in the end, you just follow up. And we're going to talk more about that today. Today is all on the coaching framework. Certified coaching training. I worked with April Franks, but there are a bazillion choices out there. And I don't even know if her program is still the same. They change a lot. But let's connect offline and we'll see if we can't get you hooked up with somebody. And I'll tell you the last thing I heard about being a certified coaching specialist. Message me. We'll talk about it. So coaching, I am not the best athlete. I'm not. I admit it. I know it. Our house is, I don't know when it was built, in the 70s maybe. And when you walk in the front door, there was one step down into the living room, and you walk through the living room and there's one step up to the kitchen. And and we built a little sunroom on so we could have like a TV room. And my husband and I had been out there watching TV, and I had a bag of like M&Ms in my hand. I come walking and I'm stepping up to go into the kitchen. And we've lived here like 20 years now. At the time, it was probably 10 or 15. And I went to step up to go in the kitchen, and I don't know what I did, but I caught my toe and I fell, and I go flying forward, and the bag of M&Ms is open. So of course M&Ms go everywhere. Luckily, I flipped myself over and I landed on my back. I've had surgery on both knees, so I'm very protective of my knees. So I flip over on my back so I don't land on the tile on my knees. So I'm just laying there, and my husband comes walking, and he goes, "Oh my God, are you okay? Do I need to call an ambulance? Did you hurt yourself? Is anything broken?" I just started laughing. I was like, "No, I'm fine. I just tripped over the step." And he goes, "Yeah, well, we just put it in last week, so I can understand why you would trip over it." Okay, people, it's been here the whole time. I've stepped over it I don't know how many millions of times. So I'm not an athlete. That whole story to tattle on myself, because I love to tattle on myself. I'm not an athlete. But I'm amazed by athletes. I am completely amazed. Why? They are committed. They are committed. They work out all the time. Olympics come. Oh, and we get Olympics this summer. I need to get that on my calendar. I don't know when it actually starts, but I love the Olympics. I will stay up all hours of the night to watch anything. It can be curling. No, I don't understand curling, but oh my gosh, I love watching it. Why? Those people are committed. They're committed. They're at the Olympics. That is like the height of sporting events. Those people are committed. Absolutely. When I was a little kid, I liked gymnastics. And I mean, I say I wasn't very good, but I do have a few ribbons. I did get some ribbons when I was, 12, 13 years old. I was on the team for the school. But I watch those people and I'm amazed. And I thought when I was a little kid, oh my gosh, I'm going to be the next Nadia Comaneci. Y'all are too young to even know who she is. Or who was the other one? Olga Corbett. Like I was going to be a gymnast. I was going to be the best. But you have to go every day and you have to go early and you have to practice. And yeah, I was not about any of that. So I let those dreams go because I knew I was not going to put the work in. But I love watching it. The Oklahoma City Thunder came here from Seattle. I'm so sorry that we stole your team in the middle of the night. I don't even know. People are still mad about it. I walked in an office and she goes, "You're from Oklahoma. You stole our team." And I said, "Well, I personally didn't, but we're treating them well. We're treating them well." I love going to the games. I love keeping up with the athletes. This last year, I did a suck job because they got rid of our whole entire team, brought in all new people. I can't even keep them straight. Come October, when we start the season again, I'm going to actually do a laminated sheet of who the players are because I could not keep up. And we couldn't go in person, which made it even worse. I didn't have a brochure. But what it takes to be a professional athlete, I don't even get it. I don't even get it. How early they wake up, how hard they work. The other thing is, have you ever noticed how many coaches they have? How many coaches? Yeah, Allison, Olympics are coming, girlfriend. We need to plan our work accordingly. How many coaches they have sitting back there? I looked it up. Okay, I don't care if you like Tom Brady or not. Those of you who are not sports fanatics, he was the quarterback for the New England Patriots for years. Then he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are they the Buccaneers, I think? Tampa, anyway, and won a Super Bowl this year. I mean, seriously, the guy's incredible. He's like 43 years old. The average lifespan of an NFL player, 5 years for an NFL player. So I read somewhere, I tried to do the research to find that exact number. And don't you know, when I Google it, I can't find it. He has like 9 coaches assigned to Tom Brady. 9 coaches. Football teams, they all have a bunch of coaches. Now, when you're Tom Brady, you get more assigned to you directly. But here's the deal. OU, I went to the University of Oklahoma, and so I follow it, haphazardly. But when Bob Stoops came as our football coach, that first year, we had virtually 0 injuries. 0. And one of the sports guys, the commentators said, "Wow, OU hasn't had any injuries this year. I wonder what it is." They brought in a new conditioning coach. And he kicked their butts day in and day out. And the team was so fit that they almost couldn't get hurt. Now, I wondered in the future when people did get injured, do we not have the same conditioning coach? Did he leave and we lost our standards? I'm not really sure what all happened there. But they had one for conditioning. Then they've got these nutritionists. They have complete nutritionists. There was this one, I'm not going to use any names. There was this one football coach, and he was very large. I'm going to say 450, 500 pounds. And he was the head coach. And I said, if I were the head coach, I would have that nutritionist because, they work like 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day. They go home and sleep and come back. I would have that nutritionist bring in all my meals and my snacks, put a lock on the refrigerator door, and I would have a treadmill and an exercise bike in my room. And in between calls, I would exercise. I don't do that now, but if I were on the sidelines of a football team, I think that's what I would do. They have nutritionists. They plan out all their meals, all their calories to keep them fit. So when they go work out, they are fit and they don't get hurt. Then we've got a positional coach. What is your position? And let's have a team of coaches to help you with your position. Well, then if you're offense versus defense, they have coaches for that. They have an offensive coach, a defense. Okay, so there are a lot of coaches. I think I've made that clear. There are a lot of coaches. Why are there so many coaches? Because that's how many they take to create an amazing team. Well, there is one of you, but you have to coach your team. You have to coach your team. So as a manager, and the first thing on your workbook, I love workbooks. Did I tell you that lately? I love workbooks. As a manager, you must know each employee and how long it takes for them to absorb information. How long does it take for them to absorb information? I have a friend, Debbie, and I tattle on her because, she knows I love her, and then I tattle on her. She lived with me for a while. She was in a life transition, and so she stayed with me, and we had the best time. It was like, a slumber party every night. And when something would come up, like I thought it was just like the TV or the computer just buffering. Debbie is very smart, very smart. But the way she processes information is slower than the way I process information. But I'm going to tell you this. She considers all the possibilities, and I may not. I might gloss over some things and keep moving. And she analyzes it all. Why do I need somebody like Debbie on my team? Debbie never even worked for me. But why would I need somebody like Debbie on my team? She's going to see what I missed. And I need to know that about my teammates, right? Who's on my team and who has the information. So we have got a coaching framework. And somehow I didn't get this in the workbook this time, but Allison is going to put up a graphic so you have it in the group. So, but I printed these out so I would have them to work with. Okay, so here we go. This is our coaching framework. Can you see all that? So in this framework, I'm going backwards. You have skill at the bottom and will going up the side. Oh, if I back up, is that better? It's hard for me to tell. Oh, let me hide this comment and that will help. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I can see better. I can see better. Oops. Will and skill. Have to go backwards. Oh, other way. This way. Here we go. Okay. You got a picture of that in your head? All right. What do you do? I just lost my pen. I'll just keep moving it. So not still on it. What do you do if you know that your employee is in this bottom quarter over here? Low skill, low will. Low skill, low will. And I have these backwards. So let's go the other way. Let's start at the top. They have a high will. They are so excitable and they want to do you right. They want to get it right, but they do not have the skill. They do not have the skill to do it on their own. What do we do with them? We need to assign them clear and concise projects, right? We want to guide them through the process. We want to give them precise directions because, again, they don't have the skill. We want to specify a deadline, like when do we want this back? And we need to check their results as we go along. I talked yesterday about milestones. These people need more milestones. When you've got high will, low skill, they need more milestones to keep them on track and make sure that they get what they need to be doing. Okay, so then we move into the bottom quadrant where I tried to start before. These people have low skill and low will. I'm sorry if you have those people. Low skill, low will. We need to direct them. We need to direct them on what they need to do. We need to give them clear instructions on what the goals are, what the end product should be. specific directions on how to solve the problem. They have low will, low skill. They don't know how to solve the problem. So we have to really give them very definite instructions on that. Be very specific on the deadline. And again, set milestones. You're going to set a lot of milestones, just like for the person with high will but low skill. Get them excited about the topic. Excited about the topic. How are you going to excite them on a topic if they have low skill, low will? Share the why this is important, why and how this fits into the overall mission of the organization. You really have to hammer that home to get them more engaged to want to do it. And then sometimes it's a matter of lack of self-confidence. So build in ways to build their confidence. Maybe you don't give them the whole scope of the project at one time. Maybe you give them a chunk of it. Give them a chunk of it, get them through that part, and then assign more. Each time they do something well, give them more and give them an immense amount of praise. What is it? It takes 10 positive things to overcome one negative comment. So you really have to build them up and excite them on it. Find the root of the low will as well. Exactly. Why aren't they willing to do this? Sometimes it's self-esteem. Sometimes it's they don't understand how it fits in, right? Get to the root cause of that. Why are they not wanting to do it and really caring if they do it well? So then the bottom corner, the high skill, low will. High skill, low will. We need to excite and support them. Excite and support them. They've got the skill, right? They know how to do it, but their willingness is pretty low. As again, assign specific end products that you need with deadlines. Constantly follow up to check, because again, their will's a little bit low. So you're going to have to follow up on those deadlines. Check their results along the way. Just check along the way. Again, set the time frames, set the milestones so they don't feel like you're micromanaging them. They know that you're going to check up on Wednesday, right? So it doesn't feel quite so horrible. Excite on the topic again. Let's get back into the why. Why are we doing this? How does it fit into the organization? And then again, more support on that self-confidence, because a lot of times the will is missing when they feel that they're not going to get a win. I always do this so poorly. I am not any good at this. Well, let's get you better, right? Let's get you involved and better. Then our last grouping. This is high will, high skill. What do we do with those people? We just delegate. That's it. We just delegate. Give them the work. Tell them to go. Here you are. What do we do with that? Assign the project. Tell them what you want in the end. Give them a deadline. Check on the end product. I would throw in there, at least throw in one intermediate check just to make sure nothing went awry. And then be prepared to include additional contribution. Like, how can you contribute more? Or they might provide an even better product than you expected. So this whole framework is so helpful if you know the employees and you know their abilities. Because depending on what it is, I might have been super willing to do something, but I had no idea how to do it, right? I had high will, low skill. Sometimes I had really good skill, but it just was so tedious and boring. I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. Whole different ball game. So when you are going to delegate to someone, take time to figure out where they would fall on the grid with that task. Because a lot of times you don't have low will, low skill on everything. Sometimes it's just some things. So take a time to figure out where they fit in so that you can coach them. You can coach them and share with them what they need to do, because again, our professional athletes have a slew of coaches and there's only one you. So the more research, the more background you can get, the better off you're going to be. How are you going to do that? Ask questions. You're going to ask questions. You're going to have conversations. You're going to ask open-ended questions. Develop trust, develop rapport, right? Because as you are influencing them to do their job, as you are interacting with them more, as they understand how their function fits into the organization on a whole, the more trust you build both ways. Then you don't end up in situations like I've ended up where they're like, oh, I don't know how to do that. What? Did I tell you all the story? I don't think I've told you the story. So we had a project that had to be done. It was a goal. It was a national goal situation. And one of my super high performing employees created a letter that was a template. And there were 5 categories that there could be problems with these people's reports, with these owners' reports. And so in each of the 5 categories, there were like 8 to 10 things that they could do depending on why that category had a low score to resolve it. So the game plan was to review the report, look at the letter template, X out the pieces and delete them that didn't apply. Doorbell, I probably have a package. I hope the puppy didn't start barking. Shotzi, hey. Yeah, because I don't know who that is or what they want. It's probably a delivery. I didn't order anything. It's going to be a surprise. So you would go through and delete, easily distracted squirrel, shiny object. You would delete out the pieces that did not apply. And then you would only leave in what did. So of the 5 topics, maybe they only had problems in 2. So you would delete 3. And on those 2, you would delete off everything that didn't apply to them. I thought it was pretty simple. We had had conversations about it. We had had training about it. So one day the employee comes to me and says, hey, can we go over this report and the letter to the owner? And I said, oh, sure. Yeah, let's do that. I'm available right now. Let's go. And I start looking at the letter and I was like, hey, so what's going on with this part of the report? Well, I don't know. Well, do they have this going on there? I don't know. Well, what about this? Well, Jennifer, I don't know. And I said, well, do you know the purpose of this letter? Well, it's a goal. We have to send it out to every property. So there was a huge piece missing. She did not understand that you only left in the pieces of the letter that applied to that report. She didn't get it at all. Okay, so as the supervisor, that's totally on me, right? Obviously, something was lost in the training. She had high will, but low skill. She didn't have enough step-by-step instructions. That's totally on me. It is not on her at all. And I don't know why that's going off. Weird things are happening. I'm telling you, Mercury's in retrograde. But that was totally on me that she didn't get what to do or how to do it. She did not understand it at all. And that's on me as the supervisor to figure out where people land. And when we delegate, we need to kind of understand what they really get and what additional assistance or help that they might need. So that's what we have to do, because that's one of the many hats we have to wear as a manager, is that coaching hat, and making sure that we are exciting people on the topic and giving them the tools they need so that they can build their skills. Do we have any questions? Hey, Kirsten, thanks for joining us. Yeah, asking questions. Sometimes we totally forget to ask the questions. So let's see. Let me pop this up here. I forget to do this. Find the root cause and then ask questions. It's so powerful. So your homework, your assignment, should you choose to take on your task, is pick a task that you need to delegate to an employee and then take time looking at that coaching framework to decide how much hands-on do you need to do. Do you just need to delegate and walk away because we have those people and we love them and it's awesome? But do you need to excite them a little bit and support them a little more because their skill is high but their will is low? Or is it somebody who's really willing but they need a lot of hand-holding because their skills aren't there? Or is it low will, low skill? Again, get to the root cause of why the will is low and also look at what you're going to do to build those skills. So your homework, your assignment, should you choose to take it, is to look into that. Look into that and see what you're going to need to do. Just like the whale image, the more time you spend up front addressing these things, the easier it is going to be all the way around. Now, to wrap us up, I have a challenge, a 30-day challenge, the Superstar Manager 30-day challenge, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. It all builds on this masterclass to reinforce the skills that you're getting, the lessons that you're learning, the things you already knew but just need reinforcing. It is typically $99 right now, and I'm offering it to anybody in the masterclass for free. What, Jennifer? You're offering it to us for free? Yes, I'm offering it to you for free. So send a DM to me or to Allison. Comment in the chat that you want access, and Allison or I will send you the link to the 30-day challenge as well as the code to enter so that you can get it for free. I am going to hop off here on this Wednesday afternoon. Those of you catching the replay, welcome. Comment in the chat that you're watching the replay. Put a comment in there. And again, if you want to join the 30-day challenge, put it in the comments and we will get that. Yes, Allison, she is going to help us and help you get access to the 30-day challenge as well. I am Jennifer Takagi. Thank you for spending your time with me. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time. Have a good evening.